This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to the South today. I'm Daryl Baser. New Zealand is in the second week of being in lockdown, with the country at COVID-19 pandemic alert level 4. The Ministry of Health's testing is increasing, with more than 3,000 people tested across the country yesterday. Things are changing for New Zealand as this global pandemic continues to spread, and the South today isn't immune to the issues facing the nation, as we all band together to stop the spread of COVID-19. We at Allied Press thank you for your viewership and understanding at this time, as New Zealand joins the rest of the world in doing everything possible to reduce the impacts of the virus. Global coronavirus cases have topped 1 million, according to a tally by Johns Hopkins University. The first 100,000 cases were reported in 55 days, and the first 500,000 in 76 days. Cases doubled to 1 million globally within the past 8 days. But is New Zealand beginning to halt the rise? At today's Ministry of Health update on the novel coronavirus COVID-19, Director General of Health Ashley Bloomfield says there are clusters of COVID-19 cases around the country.
The three biggest are the clusters in the Marist School in Auckland, that's 59, the Bluff cluster, which involves 53 people, and the Matamata cluster of 49 people.
He says there are 49 new confirmed cases of the rapidly spreading virus, along with 20 new probable cases. And he says there haven't been any more deaths attributed to COVID-19.
There are now 103 reported cases that we can confirm have recovered. Today we have 13 people in hospital around the country, including one person in ICU. All those people are in a stable condition.
Dr Bloomfield says nearly 30,000 laboratory tests have been processed around the country, with more than 3,000 tests processed yesterday alone. In Dunedin, the South today. As we've just heard, the number of people across the world infected with COVID-19 has reached 1 million people, with testing in full swing. Cases are spiralling upwards in the US, with New York City the hardest hit, with 50,000 cases and 1,400 people dead to date. Former Dunedin sound engineer and music producer Brendan Hoffman has lived in New York for more than 5 years and says his adopted home is changing. Firstly, how long have you been in New York? How long have you lived there?
I've been in New York for about 6 years or so now.
So how has the feeling of New York changed in the last few weeks?
Mate, it's very different. Obviously, it's super quiet. There's no one around. It's kind of eerie.
Because typically, I know before we started speaking on camera, there were sirens in the background, which I know from other friends is very, very common in New York. But it seems...
it is always common, but it is more so now for sure. You know, definitely a lot more emergency vehicles traveling around the neighborhoods.
And you moved there. You're in the entertainment industry, from what I recall. How has COVID affected your business?
I'm in the live music industry, and it's pretty much decimated it. Everything's done, everything's on hold, and who knows, what we're going to pick up with after this is all done.
Because previous to this, from recollection, you'd been touring globally, Middle East, and all over the place with different bands.
It's part of the job I do is I go to a lot of weird and wonderful places. Last year I was in Pakistan, I was in Saudi Arabia, I was in Greenland. Get to do a lot of fun, interesting things.
So basically, what do you think of, can you see an end to it there, and then a future after that?
No. To be quite honest, I was talking about that with co-workers today, and it's like, we honestly planning for October at this point is almost useless because we don't know what the gravity of the situation is going to be. We don't know how things are going to be, whether promoters still exist, whether venues still exist, whether people want to spend $25 to go to a show. You know, who knows? Who knows? So it's all up in the air at the moment.
Almost a silly question, but what's that feeling like?
Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what we're left with, and then what we're left with is what we'll start with. So then we'll take it from there.
And so, in terms of the states and the coronavirus, New York is the hardest hit with a considerable amount of 1,400 dead at latest count, and thousands infected. How are you staying safe?
Basically, I'm taking the whole self-isolation thing very seriously, as is most of the city, which is great. I'm staying at home. I go for a walk once a day around the neighborhood. There's not really anyone around, so social isolating is easy. I keep my trips to the supermarket down to like once a week or whatever, pick up what I need, and just being sensible.
In New Zealand, our government is shelling out millions for compensation for businesses such as yourself. What have you heard from the US government about compensating businesses who are in trouble?
There is help available. It's been a little slow coming for sure, and God knows if they'll get it right when they roll it out. But there's unemployment benefits have been extended to a lot more people, gig workers, you know, people like road crews on tours and stuff like that, people who are basically, you know, self-contractors. They're now covered for unemployment plus an extra $600 per week to bring it up to a livable wage. I know there's a lot of forgivable business loans out there, so that businesses can borrow, say, $1 million, and 75% of that has to be used to keep their employees employed and paid. And if after a year that's all done, then the loan is forgiven. So there's a bunch of like really positive stuff out there for sure. But as I say, let's see how it rolls out.
That's kind of impressive, eh? A forgivable loan.
Yeah. There's no interest loans, and then there's forgivable loans too, as long as the money is used to keep the business and the employees up and running through this.
And is that something you've taken on with your employees?
I believe that's something the company I work with is looking into.
So almost a simple parochial question, but where would you rather be right now, New York or New Zealand?
I'm actually pretty happy here. You know, it would be nice to be in Dunedin because it's bluff oyster season. Absolutely, I'd love to be there for that. But no, I'm quite okay here. It's kind of grim, but it's also a very well resourced city with resourceful people. So I think pretty much everywhere is going to go through some form of what we're going through here now, and we still have a couple of weeks to go before we hit the peak. But I think everybody's going to go through it, and I think preparedness is really important. And it's, you know, I was really happy to see New Zealand locked down so quickly, and I think if people take it seriously, then it's going to pass a lot quicker.
What's your take on the governmental changes? Like say 10 days ago, it seemed the US government was almost dismissive. But now it seems after some public outcry, there's a full-fledged, there's now full noise into it.
Yeah, I think here in America, well, in New York, from a state point of view and a city point of view, where the governmental agencies are doing a great job, and you know they're sensible and all the rest of it. On a federal level, things are obviously not quite as smooth, but I don't know. You know, I'm putting my faith in the New York governor.
And now for something a little lighter. Many whānau are finding different ways of keeping entertained and entertaining others while the nation's in lockdown. While many are spotting bears, a mother and daughter are among some people sharing their artistic talents with their neighbourhoods. Making someone feel better can sometimes be as easy as saying hi. Dunedin residents Cherry and 7-year-old Jayla Toake have spent part of the first week of lockdown decorating their fence and footpath.
There's a lot of people that walk past, and it's actually quite hard case seeing people that walking past actually do the obstacle course. And yeah, it brings a smile to our face, you know, especially during this time.
Young Jayla says they may need more chalk at some point, as there's quite a bit on the path and fence.
We used a few chalk because I have this big bucket of chalk and some of them snapped in half, so we had multiple.
The Ministry of Health advises getting fresh air regularly during the COVID-19 lockdown, as long as you remain in your bubble, not being closer than 2 metres to people who aren't part of your ropu. In Dunedin, the South Today. Time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the situation, gustily northeast winds will keep the coast cool and cloudy this weekend, but inland areas should be a little warmer with a mix of sunshine and high cloud. In the southern towns, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can expect moderate northerlies with high cloud and 18 degrees. The Cathlarines should have fresh northeasterlies, cloudy skies and 16 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, Queenstown, Wanaka and Alexandra are all in for light winds and clear skies. Alexandra will be the warmest with 20 degrees, 19 for Wanaka and Queenstown, while it should reach 16 in Te Anau. In the northern towns, along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru are due for moderate northeasterlies with some cloud and 17 degrees for Timaru, 16 for Oamaru. Looking inland, Twizel and Omarama are in for moderate northerlies, some cloud and 20 degrees. In Dunedin, it'll be cloudy and breezy tonight with an overnight low of 11 degrees. Fresh, gusty, cool northeasterlies tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies, a high of 15 and a low of 11. Winds may be stronger on Sunday with mostly cloudy skies, a high of 16 and a low of 11 degrees. It should be fine tonight in Invercargill with a low of 5 degrees. High cloud increases during the day with a high of 19 and a low of 11. It should be cloudy on Sunday in Invercargill with scattered rain developing late in the day, a high of 18 and a low of 13. And that's all from the South Today team for this Friday and indeed for the week. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook. And stay tuned to Channel 39 for the latest COVID-19 updates from the government. Have a great evening, stay calm during the pandemic, make time to exercise, and as the Prime Minister says, be kind. Have a great weekend, see you on Monday.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.